quiet chop right before the drop. There's heaps of sidechain in this track. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Feedback Friday, where we listen to some of your tracks and I give you some tips and thoughts about what I think is good about the song, what I think is bad about the song, and just generally how I think you can improve it. First Feedback Friday of the new year, let's get started. Let's choose one from this year. Hey Slynk, this is Ampresi from Sydney, Australia. What up? I've been following your tracks and tutorials for quite a while now. Your tutorials are awesome. Below is a link for my new track. Would be glad to get some feedback on this. It is an original with some sampled chops. Okay, let's check it out. Rising. Electronic track. I like the intro. This is nice. That's cool. I can tell you put a lot of detail into those vocal chops. It's really nice. Oh, hold up. Let me turn my sub pack on. All right, let's go. The drop sounds pretty good. I can tell like what you're going for there is good. Like, I think the only comment with the build up is just there wasn't much anticipation. I was kind of like, oh, we're dropping already. Okay. Basically, I think that the drums aren't really punching through. Maybe I've got my volume too low. Here, let me turn up my volume. Yeah, let's listen to that drop again. Those little sprinkly hi-hats that you've got going on there, they seem to be a lot louder than everything else. They're very sharp on the ears. I would expect like the snare to be as punchy and sharp and loud as those hi-hats, but the snare is much quieter. If anything, the hi-hats should be quieter than the snare and the kick. And the snare and the kick are really sitting in the background. I feel like the vocal chops are a bit too loud compared to the drums. So I think just some general balancing of your levels, and of course some more sidechain, don't forget about that, would improve this drop. But otherwise, musically, it's sounding pretty good. Let's keep listening. I really like the neuro bass lines that you've designed in there. They sound really good. So keep that kind of stuff up. Yeah, things just need to be balanced more. Maybe you've compressed the song too much. It's hard to tell. But yeah, keep an eye on that. If you're using Isotope Ozone to, master your song, you can check the RMS using like those 2 level lights on the side. And if you're hitting like above, say, 3 or 4, you're probably limiting your sound too much and the dynamic range is just too low. You want a high dynamic range to make loud sounds loud, quiet sounds quiet. If you squash it too much, it's going to be everything's fucking loud and you can't really latch onto anything. So yeah, those beeps are a bit too loud as well, I think. breakdown here. Love that stutter on the drop. That was really cool. I think you can build more anticipation and more, like you can build things more with this build. It kind of just slides in. You've got some elements of anticipation there. You know, just think about how you can really build that anticipation. Some driving kicks or some big rising sound, the fake drop, like you build your then your vocal sample and then drop. Build things more with this build. You know what I mean? The fake drop is always fun. I like to add a little bit of silence or just a little bit of a quiet chop right before the drop, so that kind of rhymes actually. Quiet chop right before the drop. That can add some more anticipation and sort of indicate to your listener when to, you know, go nuts. I know this song isn't like supposed to be a full dance floor banger. As a listener, it still makes me, you know, more excited to listen to your song if it has those elements of anticipation. But that stutter chop it right on the drop is really cool. I like that. It's cool that you did a different kind of drop the second time versus the first time. Nice. Also, I probably wouldn't call this a glitch hop song or a glitch hop mix. It's not really a mix. It's a track, right? What is this mixed with? It's just one song, yeah. But it's not a glitch hop track. I wouldn't call it a glitch hop track at all. I'd call it like a future bass track. And that kind of style is pretty trendy right now. And I think you're nailing it, man. Just balance out some of those levels a little bit more. If you had the right sort of monitors, you wouldn't have turned those hi-hats all the way up like you have. The problem you're having is probably just a lack of a good listening environment. I think you'd be like, oh, why did I do that? Or so maybe even hit up your mates and see if any of your mates have like a better studio. You can take the project over to their place and work on it. You know, it's a new year. Maybe you can pick up some new monitors or something like that. I found like with my monitors, when I first got them, I was always mixing in, I was not mixing in enough highs. So what I did is I just turned the tweeters down. There's a volume control on the tweeters. I turned them down a bit, which when I listened to the music back, I was like, there's not enough highs in there. I instinctively include the correct amount of highs. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the good work, man. I think it's really cool. Let's just have a quick listen to the outro. The outro could use some work as well. It just sounds like another build and then it just ends. Maybe like flip to a piano or something to like tail it out. But yeah, good work, man. Keep it up. Let's do the next one. Hey there, hope this makes you happy. I had fun making it. Let me know what you think. I will let you know what I think. What is trap? Oh boy. Look at this artwork. Dude, what is that? I like the drums. Filtered like drum break. It's cool. I'll turn this one up a little bit. Oh no, it's good. Right, those like snare hits are a lot louder than everything else. I think the drums are a bit too loud compared to everything else in this part. I'm loving the melodies and all the melody and chord progressions and everything in this track is awesome so far. Execution wise, I think again, like just balancing of your levels. The drums seem a little bit too loud. Some elements seem a lot louder than other elements. I'm gonna try and listen to see if there's much sidechaining there. Yeah, you're using sidechain, which is good. I can definitely hear that kick punching through. The kick, maybe try a different sample. I'm not sure if that one is really punching in the low end. I can't really feel it in my sub pack. Sub pack is still on. Yeah, level set right. I can't even feel my sub pack working at all. So I'm not sure what's going on from 130 Hertz to 5 Hertz, but apparently nothing. Maybe my volume is too low. Let me check. Turn the volume up a bit. Yeah, these kicks, I'm not feeling anything in the sub pack. What happened to the low end on those kicks? I'm only hearing it out of my speakers, and my speakers play everything down to about 60 Hertz. So these kicks have like no bottom end. Maybe try a different sample. Get yourself that plugin. It's called Kick 2. It's an amazing plugin. Just fucking drop it down on a drum rack or whatever. Load any of the presets and then just go. You'll be set. The presets are amazing. It's an amazing plugin for kicks. It's so weird. It's tripping me out because it feels like there should be bass. I can hear it. I just can't feel it. What is something wrong with my settings? Is this thing plugged in? I think it's plugged in. I'm tuning in on that bass, the sub bass, the doo, and that should be really rattling me. And I'm barely feeling it. So you got to work on your sub bass a lot there, man. Man, musically, melodically, chord progression wise, you got nothing to worry about. You're killing it. It's one of those like cutesy feature bass tracks, and I really like that style. All you need is some Yoshi samples. Hey, brum, and shit like that. Thanks for submitting your track. Let's check out the next one. Hey Slynk, I think your shit is really grouse. Thank you heaps for doing this weekly feedback. It's really awesome and I learn heaps. Please keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. We'll find out if you've done enough sidechaining. Catron, Scape, Dubstep track. This guy's new. I can hear some sidechain. I think maybe the release time is a bit long on it, but it's alright. That's arpeggiator. All right. Some serious anticipation. Oh, shit. All right. I'm not a fan of that drop. But that build up was great. Right, I think the main problem with this drop, just the chords and notes you've selected. They're not telling a story. I'm not the best with musical theory, but I just know when something sounds a bit weird, you know? The combination of those chords just sounds weird. Maybe it's the timing of the chords, because it's just like one chord, one chord, one chord, one chord. You know, maybe like change the timing of those chords up a bit. But honestly, I would just delete all the MIDI information and redo the chords. Sometimes you're playing a chord and there's a bass sound underneath it. They don't complement each other. It sounds like the wrong bass note or the wrong chord, and you've got a bad combination between those two. So I think maybe you'd benefit from a little bit more musical theory. There's plenty of tutorials online you can check out for musical theory. Sound design wise, let's keep listening. There's heaps of sidechain in this track. Definitely turn the release time down a bit. The thing with sidechain is it only sounds good when the drums that are punching in also sound good. And I'm not feeling the drums. The kick, I think it's the snare. The snare sounds like really dated. Maybe it's not the snare. Maybe it's the kick. I think the kick is wrong. Or not wrong, sorry. The kick is like it sounds dated, like from the wrong sample pack or something. I mean, the kick and snare, they're not too bad. Something about them sounds weird. I would maybe try get more snap out of your transients for the kicks and snares. Turn the high end up a little bit. Like if you EQ the high end up a little bit on those kicks and snares, it might help out a little bit with just creating some sharpness to those sounds. The overall volume of everything else needs to come down slightly to match the volume of the drums, because the drums feel like they might be a little bit soft. You nailed this first build up though. That was sweet. Oh, the fake drop. The fake drop got me. You got me. All right, and then it's more of the same stuff. What happens at the end here? That bass line, that wah, wah, sounds like it's so big in my speakers, but I can't feel anything in my back. I'm not feeling the deep sub ranges. That should be rumbling you know? But it's just like wah, wah, like on the speakers in the mid range. Not much down low. Maybe check out my sub bass tutorial. Layer a sub underneath that like bass sound and then combine the two, you know what I mean? So you've got heavy sub, heavy mids, and then a full sound, you know? What happened to 30 hertz, 40 hertz, 50 hertz? Not much going on down there. I can feel the kick, like every time the kick hits, I'm feeling it. It's low, it's deep, it's just not crispy enough. But in comparison to all the bass, it's way more punchy, so way more like deep and stabby in the bass sub range. So the deep sub ranges of the kick should match the intensity of the deep sub ranges of your bass. Otherwise, it makes your bass line sound weak. You know, imagine you're in a club and you're hearing this massive kick and you're hearing all these crazy basses, but you're not feeling those basses. Anyway, let's see how this ends. I think it just cuts short. Yeah, maybe just a work in progress. Cool. Definitely a dubstep song. I can tell you're new to like sound design and stuff, but you know, you've put some effort into creating some sweet bass lines. Some of the bass lines you use could use a bit more movement, like a sound that evolves during the sound instead of it just being meh, meh. You know, have it go wah, you know, open a filter up or change the wave table or something like that. But otherwise, pretty good shot, man. Love the build up and keep it up, dude. Appreciate you sending in the track. All right, let's check out Free Cookies. All right. Love Heart. Oh, I thought we talked about this, guys. Thanks for your time, dude. Look forward to your thoughts. Thank you, man. Dad. No way. Are you related to Father Funk? All right, let's check it out. Wait, does this have samples in it? All right, I just listened to it and it has samples in it. So sorry, dude. Thanks for you guys for updating the links because I know it does take me a while to get to them. All right, so hey, Slynk, this is a remix of my Weekend Stubber. Remix? I'm trying not to get deleted off of YouTube here. Sorry, I can't do remixes. They got to be original songs. Hey, Slynk, thanks for doing the feedback videos. I was working on this track. I wanted to make a whole album. A whole album. A whole album. A whole album with these sounds. I hope that you enjoy it and please send me advice. All right. First piece of advice is learn how to spell whole. I'm just kidding. It's probably a typo. In a summer. Holy shit. This is a 7.5 minute song. That is an extremely long song. That's like Pink Floyd long. I was just thinking about those drums, and while they are organic samples, I can tell that you've definitely keyed them in with like some kind of MIDI pad or something and then quantized it. It sounds very electronic in timing and feel. The samples sound great. I'm assuming you've got like Native Instruments Complete or something like that, and that's like one of the sample packs from Contact. I don't know, maybe they're not samples. Did you play these drums yourself and record it? Because if you did, the recording of those drums sounds tight. Something just makes me feel like you definitely did not play those drums. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you play the drums or not. But yeah, we've got this like 80s, I feel like we're watching Kung Fury. I feel like I'm the hacker man and I'm transporting you back in time to go and meet like the wizard or whatever the fuck happens in that movie. It's so stupid. Right, just there, the chord changed, but the bass line didn't change to match it. Doesn't really work. The chord change will work if you match the bass line to the chords, but they're not complementing each other. Especially here, right, with this chord, the bass line should definitely go down to meet that same chord, you know? I like what you're doing with like the synth solos in the top. Like you've got a couple of like little melodies going on and they're kind of nice. Needs more sub range. I think you're missing like 40, 50 hertz and below on the bass line. I can feel it in the kick though, which is one of the reasons why I think maybe this is a sample pack and not some live recorded drums, because it would be so hard unless you paid a lot of money for an engineer to record your own drums. It's so hard to capture drums that punch that low and stuff. It's got to be samples. I'm going with samples. That's my final answer.
Lock it in, Eddie.
Lock it in, Eddie.
Lock it in, thanks, Ed.
Lock it in. All right, more of the same stuff. Drums kind of change, but not much else changes there. Sounds basically the same. Still sounds the same. You don't need 7.5 minutes to get your point across with this song. You're just doing the same thing all the way through. This song should end here, I think. 3.5 minutes. Even before that, you could definitely shorten the length on that. What's the point of all this extra stuff? Take part of this where you change the drums and put it in here so that you've got half the length of that same section, but the drums change up, and then it's more interesting for the listener because more things change more often. The arpeggiator's in there. That's kind of nice. Maybe use that somewhere over here as an alternative section. It doesn't need to be that long. It's way, way too long and not much is happening. What does your girlfriend say when you're like, oh babe, check out this new song I wrote? Does she sit down and listen to the whole 7.5 minutes with you? Or does she get up and walk off after 2 minutes and be like, yeah, that's really good, babe. All right, I'm going to go like do some other shit. Like, you know, like for songs this long to keep a listener interested, it's got to be different all the way through. It's got to go somewhere. You got to go on a journey.
There's got to be a bridge. There's got to be choruses, verses, vocals, a long solo. Maybe you can do some kind of Herbie Hancock jazz jam out for 7.5 minutes where every instrument gets to do, you know, a 32 of solo time and then a drum solo and everything. But like, it's the same thing all the way through. So just really think about what's the point that you're trying to get across with your song? Have you achieved it? And do you need to just keep hammering away that same point, or do you need to just cut it short? 3.5 minutes. 7.5 minutes, dude. 7.5 minutes.
Wake up, dude. See what I'm doing here? I'm just going on and rehashing the same point. I only need to say it once and you get the point. I like the drums. I mean, I do like the drums. I know you used a sample pack, but they sound nice. It's nice and refreshing to hear a song that doesn't have super digital drums. And I kind of like that. I think that's a nice direction that you should go with your whole album. Thanks for sending in your track. And that's about all the time I've got left for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Before I go, I just wanted to let you know that you can join up with my Facebook group and hang out with all the other hardcore Slynk fans. And we just joke around, and sometimes I post my works in progresses or early merch access and stuff like that. But jump in the group. It'd be cool to like hang out and chat to you guys. So sweet. Catch you next week. Peace.